Joe, what's happening, man?
What up, bro?
Man, it's time to do it again, dude.
Yep, it is
Yep.
7 p.m. Sunday night. And look, hey, coincidentally, this is our last 7 p.m. show, right?
Our last 7 p.m. show, man. We got to start a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that, though.
School nights,
Mm-hmm.
those 7 p.m. starts kind of get you. They,
Plays hell on the family time.
it does play hell in the family time, man.
It does.
Unfortunately,
There we go.
unfortunately, I don't have an office in my house. So I do this in the confines of
Well,
my daughter's room.
yeah,
So like,
well,
if I move out of the way real quick, let's see.
yeah.
You
Uh, uh,
see that rainbow, little unicorn rainbow in the background?
no, all I see is that big, beautiful building that we're about to be looking
Oh,
in
big
here.
beautiful building, the Cajun
You
Dome.
see that, man? It's
Will
about to go
Compton,
down.
shout out, no free shout out.
It's
Cajun
about to
Dome.
go down.
Yeah, this week is state championships for the LHSPLA are this week starting on Wednesday.
We're up first, man. 2A.
One and 2A boys are up first, girls are second.
Mm-hmm.
3, 4, 5 girls are Friday.
Yep.
3, 4, 5 boys are Saturday.
Yeah. Tell me
I'll
about it, man. What you doing for the week, dude? How you getting ready for it?
practice today.
Mm-hmm.
Today's kind of like our feel good day. Hey, what do you need to work on? Where are we at with our preparation? They've been working hard for going on 4 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we at with it? And that's what kind of today was. Tomorrow they'll just do a light SBD, 50-60%. Wednesday I actually won't be there. I'm leaving to go to the Cajun Dome Tuesday night. The old El Presidente duties.
El Presidente. We're gonna roll
Yeah.
out the red carpet. Da, 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 da,
Oh, jeez.
da.
But yeah, so
hey, word is they're gonna have meatball subs in the hospitality room.
shout out Catholic High, Matt Shelton, meatball subs.
I'm putting in for Miss Newman to make red beans and rice.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
It's about to be a good week.
Hey, when I told her that we shouted her red beans and rice out on the podcast, she's ready to make us another batch of them.
Dude.
Like the next day, she's ready to go.
Dude.
Miss Newman is our home ec teacher at Lake Arthur, and she, out of the goodness of her heart, made that. She'd been cooking on them for about 2 days. So
I love red beans and rice.
mm-hmm.
Those red beans and rice were really good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We went to Fizzo's today. I had a college teammate of mine. Shout out Brian Parker, Erath High School.
Shout out, no free shout out.
Yep. Erath High School, formerly Rain High School. He his my goddaughter. Her baptism today. We went to Fizzo's. Nice little lunch at Fizzo's. Everybody loves some Cajun Italian food.
Let me ask you this: is it Fizzo's or is it Fezzo's? There's always a debate.
I've always said Fizzo's.
I say Fizzo's.
So do I.
There's always that one person. It's Fezzo's, and then we debate about it for 10 minutes, and then we move on about our day.
Yeah, Fizzo's is what I always say. We go there every time I come in town. Just like last year, right?
Yeah.
The month of March, I spent basically the whole month in Lafayette. This year, I spent the whole month in Lafayette. Last year, we had a EC meeting. I was his sponsor for adult confirmation, and then state. This year, EC meeting, I was the godparent to his third child, and then we got state. So did that, and shout out to my brother. It's his 26th birthday today. Happy birthday, Adam.
Happy birthday, Adam.
St. Patty's Day, baby. So we went to his house for a little bit, celebrated his birthday, and here we are.
Awesome.
Cajun Dome ready.
Cajun Dome ready, man. Us too, dude. So we were just talking about it in the pre-show. Which, speaking of powerlifting for Lake Arthur, I see one of our assistant coaches, Miss Abear. She's on. She just joined live. Hey, Kendallin, how you doing? Does a hell of a job. She was on one of those state championship teams that we had back in the day at Lake Arthur, and her and Coach Ashley Gwynn, they have done a hell of a job, along with my wife, who everybody met a few weeks ago on the pod. So, we were talking about it earlier, man. It's a little bit different for us. We lift on Wednesday, Thursday this week. So, I've been pining about it all weekend. How do I handle it? What do I do with them? Because I mean, just like you said, your kids have been working as hard as they possibly can for 4 weeks, and us too. And we don't want to have the meet on Monday.
Correct.
We want to make sure that we sew up some loose ends and dot our T's and cross our I's, and just like you, what you need to work on. It's not going to be a heavy percent.
I got dot our T's and cross our I's.
Yeah, I did say that. You had easy. Yeah. Yeah. So I did it on purpose, Joseph.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we're just gonna try to make sure everything is ready to go. So
yeah, we're in the same.
We're gonna go weigh in on Tuesday, and I'm gonna go down early on Tuesday and see if anything needs to be helped set up, and then come back, pick the kids up.
It's crazy, man. Speaking of setting up, I mean, they had Monster Jam in the Cajun Dome last night, and then they'll turn around in 2 days, and here we are with the state championship.
And I think it was WWE in there last weekend.
And WWE was in there last Sunday night. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yep,
they quick turnaround, but yeah, we're lucky that we have the luxury that we're a little bit later in the week than what y'all are. We're not till Friday, Saturday. My kids will come down the girls will come down on Thursday, the boys will come down on Friday. They'll each lift respectively, and then that's it. The season is over after that.
It's over, man.
It is. I don't have it sitting right in front of me exactly, but it is arguably. Let me think real quick. So football's year round these days. I mean, let's be honest. Like, you're getting prepared for football season year round, but we're talking about actual games. Football's from September to December. Actual games. November, December. So about 4 months, right? I mean, yeah, you got jamborees, you got scrimmages and all that in August. Call it 5 months. I think Powhatan might be the second longest season.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We can officially start the week of Thanksgiving, right?
Yep.
And so that'll be.
The week of Thanksgiving this year was November 19th. 19th, 20th. Yeah. The 20th is the official start day this year.
I'm counting right now.
And we're talking 4 solid months.
Oh yeah, it's at least 20 weeks,
almost to the day. And it's. And then as a football coach, I mean, you go back to back. You're 4-5 straight months of strictly football practice, football games into 20 straight weeks of Powhatan. For some people, I mean, I know for me personally, it was the past few weeks I've had kind of semi weekends off. It was the first time since December 16th that we haven't had a meet in the past few weeks.
And we talked about that last week. You get so institutionalized, for lack of a better term, with some sort of meet or something every weekend. And of course, we're not bringing every one of our kids, to a meet every weekend. I made that mistake as a first year coach, and my theory behind it was just get them used to the meets. Thank goodness we took a month off, from the mid-January to whenever regionals was, and but I just wanted to get them in there and just teach them how to lift in these meets, and we didn't take them up very much as far as their max, and we didn't have all our gear yet. So by the time we hit regionals, everybody had gear, and I mean we had a pretty good showing. But now, I mean, how many meets do you take, say, your regional boys and your regional girls to total between invites and regionals?
Just depends. So they're split into 2 different ways. So like my football guys will typically go to 2 meets. My girls have a little bit more of a luxury because we work out August, September, October, November. We have, athletic hour when we work out. I mean, that's all we're doing is, conditioning stuff. Strength building. And so the girls might go to a little bit more. Like we might go like December 16th as an example. We'll go to that weekend. We've been going to the same meet at Holden High School. David White puts on a phenomenal meet over there. So we usually go to his meet. Then they'll lift again for like our district meet, which is like January 13th-ish time period to 18th. Next year it's going to be probably around the 18th. So it's about a month break. And then they won't lift again until regionals.
I like how y'all do that district meet. I like that.
Oh yeah, man. It's a blessing to have. So we have actually announced the other day we're going to have 7 teams in our district. Craryville High is coming in. They got approved to compete this year.
Immediately compete.
Compete. So of the 7 teams, 6 of them, including them, they'll have it. 6 teams will have a Howerton team. So we treat it. But the way we do it is you can bring 11 boys and 11 girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rotating trophy. It's a huge plaque. And each year you get your name put on it when you win. So first year, Dutchtown won.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. First year, Santa Maria won.
Yeah.
This year, Dutchtown won.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of rotate who hosts it. Like this year, I'm hosting it.
Yeah.
So we're combining it with our traditional meet, the Joey Shoots Invitational. It's just going to be called the District 5A Joey Shoots Invitational.
So does that mean that like teams outside the district can still come to Joey Shoots?
Nope.
Okay.
It'll be a 1-year hiatus. I announced that, in the meet that day.
Mm.
You probably didn't listen.
Well, was that before the girls' meet started?
Well, I'm going to deflect here, and
go ahead.
I did it before the girls' meet started, and then our great dear friend who was the head official that day, Kirk Laverne, was supposed to tell all the teams that weren't there when the girls started that next year will be a hiatus because we hosting the district meet.
Yeah. So, well, chances are I either didn't hear it, wasn't there, or I wouldn't listen.
Or track record speaks for itself.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, here we go.
So there's that. Probably weren't listening. But yeah, so we have a great district meet. My wife,
you were talking, I wasn't listening to you.
Miss Betsy just commented on our Instagram and said, when me and her started dating, my brother was graduating high school. Now he's 26.
Well, if you'd have been paying attention to that, she already commented on that about 5 minutes ago. So
I did. I was just waiting for our conversation to finish. Thanks, though.
Well, look, she just commented again. Don't blame Kirk. So
it's not Kirk's fault. I'm not blaming Kirk. I'm actually blaming you that you didn't listen. So,
well, I was probably trying to take care of my team. So
okay, yeah.
See, look, she said thank you. So she agrees with me.
Anyways, so other than that, man, weeks have been great. I think that we're heading the right track. We had ACT this past week.
So is it like at your school once that ACT testing starts, man, that cruise control starts getting set in school wise, man?
Not really, man. We're very, very like we'll start testing and LEAP and proficiency and all that stuff, start to AP testing and everything like that after our spring break.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still, my health class is starting a new chapter tomorrow.
Attaboy, teacher of the year.
Yeah.
Teacher of the year. You got your objectives on the board?
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm in a rotating class room. Sometimes I'm in the library, sometimes I'm in the gym, sometimes I'm out in the commons area. Just my base is the library, but if they're CLEP testing or doing anything like that,
hey, we're going.
You got to get out, baby.
Let's go.
You got to get out, coach.
Let's go. Grab some chips. Let's go.
Yeah. Luckily, being online based, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah, there it is.
So, but yeah, we're starting. We still got multiple chapters left, and we're still getting after it. So yeah, man, it's nearing that time though. Nearing that time of the year where any educator or coach or anything out there, it's that time of the year where kids are just kind of like, all right, it is
cruise control. Yeah, they're
downward spiral.
Yeah. They're down because we're going to come back from spring break and they're going to start doing end of the year testing.
When's y'all spring break?
2 weeks.
So Good Friday through.
Mm-hmm.
Us too.
Good Friday through.
Us too. You going to LSU clinic?
Possibly.
I think we're going.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, usually we'll go and sometimes we go to practice, sometimes because we don't. But we got a early enrollee that's there right now, safety.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I remember him.
Deshaun McBride. Yeah. So we're gonna check out. Oh yeah, he's a baller.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go check out practice and do all that. So, yeah, man, that's about it. I'm excited for the week. I'm excited to get things going. I'm excited that, like we talked about last week, or the week before. I love the sport.
Yep.
But just like anything else, it's like, all right,
I need to take a breath.
Enough's enough. Like,
I need to take a breath.
Okay. And I think it's a little bit of the stress of here's state and here's the end of the year and here's this and here's that.
Well, for me, it's just like what's too much right now, and what's not enough. And like I keep saying, I got a ton of multi sports. I've got a group of about 6 that have been showing up Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, 6:30, grinding. Man, we call it the Breakfast Club, and I got 2 of them that they both run track, they both sprint, and one throws. The one of them plays softball, and she's a Tigerette, and the other one has a full-time job. So did they have the best deadlift day on Friday? No. Was it bad? No. But they're tired. So
it's a long year. It's a
long year, man. And so when you start seeing 2 of your better lifters, when they're tired and they may hitch a couple of lifts, and then you start looking at your program, and then you start second guessing things, and then you get peace of mind whenever the rest of your kids come in and smash openers, that afternoon or in the same workout, so it's then you got to start looking at all the other factors. So, Zach Dechant says it, man, if you're not assessing, you're guessing. And, I think we're in a good place right now. I'm ready to lift. I want to get the kids on the platform.
Yeah, me too, man. And my kids are chomping at the bit,
Busted.
They're ready to go, and they're confident, and they're, as ready as they're going to be. Is the hay in the barn? Is the hay ever in the barn? You hear that saying thrown around a lot,
Mm-hmm. Well,
hay's in the barn. I mean, there's nothing else we can do over these next 4 days.
But you know who bailed that hay is teenagers.
Oh yeah,
it's like we hinge our happiness, man, and you put your stock in your kids, and ultimately it falls on us as coaches.
Yep. So you are correct. So
you ready to get to it, man?
Yeah, man. Look, we got not crazy. We decided this week we're not going to have a guest. Let's take a little break. Let's take a step back. Let's get back to the roots of, what is sports today. We're going to talk a few maybe controversial topics. Some people aren't going to like what we got to say today. And you know what? That's all right. I'm still going to sleep easy on my pillow tonight.
With a fan on.
I'm not typing it behind a keyboard. I'm not, what we're going to say is kind of honest truth about the reality of sports today. And again, some may disagree, some may agree, some may love it, some may hate it.
Mm-hmm. So a couple of things before we get going. We are back live on Instagram, so please feed us questions as we bring up topics and as we discuss. Please give us questions, and give us comments.
Yep, you can also comment on YouTube.
Yep,
just so everybody knows, you can comment on YouTube. It comes straight to us. We can take those comments now. With Instagram, it'll end at 1 hour. The live stream will end at 1 hour on Instagram. That'll be roughly 8:00, but it'll stay live on YouTube. So you're more than welcome to go there. And then, as always, these episodes will be on demand at Beyond the Rack Podcast, our YouTube channel.
And we've also been talking about it too. For those that watching and listening, the last couple of episodes have been an hour and a half, an hour and 45. We're just passionate about this. And we could probably sit here and go for 2.5, 3 hours, but we know that people have things to do, and we both have families, so we're going to work our butts off to keep it between an hour and 75 minutes.
Yep.
Joe, I'm ready to get to it, man. These are some of my favorite things.
Yeah. So
before we go, man, these are our opinions. This is not gospel. This is just what we think.
It's not a representation of where we work or who we work with. This is AB and Joe's opinions.
Mm-hmm.
No one else's.
We've been told that we agree on a lot of things too much. Well, I mean, that's because we see eye to eye. That's why we're good friends, but we actually did have a little bit of a disagreement the other day. Text that I sent you about 5:30 in the morning, but we can get to that.
Yeah.
So like I said, man, this is our opinions, and this does not represent where we work or the opinions of staff members that we work with. And we're not behind a keyboard, man. We're live, for the world to see. So, well, let's get to it, man. 7-on-7 camps. What are the benefits, Joe, of a 7-on-7 camp?
Camps or teams? Are we talking about camps, teams? Are we talking about these big super things? I mean, I lump it all together, you know.
Well, we already talked. One of our topics is mega camps. We'll get to it in a minute, but I'm saying 7-on-7. Well, let's break it down. Just your run of the mill Denham Springs versus Dutchtown 7-on-7 in the summer, because we go play 7-on-7 with Iota,
Okay.
and Delcom, and other teams.
Those leagues, 7-on-7 in the summer against teams you're going to see again, against teams that you might never see, but it's good to get that competition. Love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's great. It gives you quality reps. You're only doing it for a month. You're seeing 3 other teams in a day. It's great work. Some of those teams might get the best of you, and then you get the best of them in the season.
Yep.
Or you get the best of them, and they get the best of you in the season. That happens.
Yep.
Is it real football?
No,
not at all.
No, there's not a lot of bullets flying.
But is it quality reps for? I personally think it's a defensive thing. It's quality reps to understand coverages, to understand man-to-man play. Is it quality reps for offensive guys to run solid routes and do the right thing and catch balls and all that? Absolutely.
I think it is.
The person I think it kind of gets to the most is the quarterback, man. Because it's not real. Like, you're just dropping back into the oblivion.
Yeah, there's no rush. There's no, Yeah,
okay. You got a Mississippi count, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. That's not a 6'3", 250-pound DN coming at you.
Yeah, and he's committed.
All right, John Doe.
Fire. Yeah.
You got 5 Mississippi before I come sack you.
Yeah,
it's not real. But in the same breath, it is quality reps. Now these every weekender, Team Circle K, team
Big Mike's,
team Delaware Punch, team. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, the thing I don't like about those is that there's kids out there doing that don't even play for their high school team.
Yeah.
That's not going to get you recruited.
No.
Because it's not real football.
No. And the really good recruiters will tell you they're not worried about that. They want to see, man, they want to see how they would rather see your 7-on-7 in that district league or against those other teams, and they want to see you on tape.
And I say that too to say this, that can it get you some publicity on social media?
Yeah,
absolutely. But they're not going to throw you an offer because of what you did in a 7-on-7 game at friggin' South Park in Denham Springs.
No,
they're going to throw you an offer versus what you did week 1 through 4.
Yep.
Week 5 through 8.
Yeah.
Week 9 through 15. That's where your offers are going to come in at.
Mm-hmm.
Playing 7-on-7 for these teams and traveling around the country and all that, it's great. It gives you a little bit of extra pub, but the chance of you getting a true offer off of it, I just don't. I'm not a believer in it. I'm not a believer in that. That's a true thing that's happening.
No.
No. And I say that, and look, we're talking about flag football is about to be in the Olympics.
Yeah. Plus, I some of them have just become circuses, man. Just publicity stunts and
the kids that I talk to about that play for with us, play in different teams and all that, says that those things end controversial and sometimes physical almost every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, what are we doing? You still got to have an O-line to block. You still got to have a D-line to go make tackles.
Well, I mean, how about the center? Like in these things, if you bring a center, he just snaps. And my guy this year, he ended up being a hell of a center for us. I needed him to go to every one of them that we went to just because he had to get reps. He had to keep sharpening that sword, but he's a first year guy, if you're not there with him, which I tried to be at every one of them that I could, if I didn't have a workout group in the weight room, you don't want him to form bad habits, you know? So, Don't pick your butt up when you snap the ball. You can't drop it too low. Don't pick the ball up and move it forward. Turn the ball in your hand a little bit more. Get in the top. Grab the top of the ball a little bit more when you snap. Throw it like a football. You know, he can just be out there and just inform all kind of bad habits.
And look at what it's trickled down to. You remember that little baby Gronk kid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like 11.
Dude, like, here's my thing. You can be the best youth and middle school player in your community's history and not pan out in high school.
Absolutely not.
You can be the worst in your community's history and be the best damn player to ever come to that school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can say this about the kid because it's the truth and he knows it. Deshaun McBride at Denham Springs as a freshman and sophomore was a little skinny, 150-pound, massive kid that wore number 85. You know, he was the third string safety that we threw in week 9, 10, or week 10.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up having 20 tackles. You know, he plays the first round, has another great game. Plays the second round, has another great game. Junior year comes in and has 10 interceptions. But when you look at his development as a freshman and sophomore, he wasn't really, you know, so the whole starting him with this, like the little baby Gronk kid, back to that, you know, it's like that kid might not pan out. That kid might stay that same height forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we're talking about this kid gets visits and offers and all this stuff.
But does he really though? I mean, does he?
It's not committable offers. That's what people understand. Athletes, if you're listening right now, there's a difference between a committable offer and a non-committable offer.
Yes.
Because guess what? If it's a committable offer, they're going to ask you to commit on the spot.
Yeah. And it's just my opinion, man. Is it for likes and shares or is it legit? Because you can monetize those likes and shares, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's likes and shares more than anything.
Yeah. Now, is he probably a good athlete for his age? Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I would not doubt it at all.
There's a reason, not rhyme and reason, but there's a reason he is where he's at and getting the pub he's getting. But who says that kid's going to pan out?
Yeah,
well, dude,
he may quit football by the time he gets to middle school. He's just sick of it.
I was the tallest kid in every school I went to till I got to 8th grade.
I was a big 8th grader. I haven't grown anymore.
I haven't grown an inch since 8th grade.
No, I went from 5'7.5" to 5'9", like right before my 9th grade year, and I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'm the runt of the family. I'm like a lot of the men. I come from a family of big Germans, you know, and I'm little, you know, compared to a lot of these men in my family.
Yeah.
You know, and this kid may end up being 6'5".
He might.
He may just stay at 5'9". We don't know. And same thing as the other kids that are going. Man, it's great that they're going to get in work. It's like a strength coach. You know, I believe in the gathering of knowledge. You need to look and read, and you need to watch some things on social media, because you never know. You may pick up some stuff, but you got to watch where you're looking, like what sites you're looking at, you know, and those kids are going to get work, you know, and that's what I tell our kids all the time. Hey, you're going to a camp, you're going to get work, but dude, you got to make sure. I mean, if there is a ton of sponsorships when you walk in, and I mean, if there's 500 kids and 2 quarterbacks throwing, or, you know, and 500 kids and 2 lines going on the one-on-one pass rush, you may need to go to a different camp.
Yeah.
And you need to go somewhere you're going to get work.
Well, if we're talking about that right now, let's kind of skip ahead and talk about the mega camps.
Okay.
I don't think are they as prevalent as they once were? I know, like about 4 years ago, they were way more prevalent.
I haven't seen as many of them popping up.
Have you? Not really. There used to be a few, but I'm a little indifferent about it, because could you find a diamond in the rough? I mean, I guess, but at the same time, like you just talked about, there's 500 kids there. How are you even evaluating that?
You're not.
It's impossible. The kids you truly want to see, they show up, they shake hands, and they leave.
Yeah.
Because they're not spending their time on the $60, 500-person mega camp. They don't need to. The tape speaks for itself.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember when at LSU when Nick Saban was there, they would separate the kids into gold,
They would have,
purple,
they would have like the
white,
elite and the,
tiger. You know,
yeah,
the white, and then the tiger group. And the tiger group was the little bitty kids, and then the
yep,
white group was freshmen.
yeah,
Middle school
freshman,
freshmen.
sophomore, yeah,
By the time you got to that gold group, those were your 3 to 5 stars.
yeah.
Your high end 3 stars
The
all the way up to
kids
your
that,
5-star.
and look, enjoy high school sports.
Yes.
Because the reality of it is, not everybody plays college athletics.
No, I was lucky. Lucky.
Coach, me too. And the term, to throw the term play around, I didn't really play that much,
Yeah. I
very
I
seldomly on special teams, every now and then,
I played enough to say, hey, yeah, I played college football.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was very sparingly.
It was a great experience, great 4 years, but college sports are a business.
Oh yeah, it's a huge business now. But yeah, they the mega camps. I thought when they first came out, they were worth it. And now I just don't see as many of them.
Even and I enjoy some of the smaller camps. It's. But here's the thing. I don't know about you. We don't run 40s.
You mean you don't time them?
Nope.
Joe, I time them, and I look at it like the record board, mentality for the weight room. I don't put a lot of stock into it, because we had a kid this year that at every camp that he went to in the summertime, they were all on lasers, and he was anywhere from a low 4.6 to a low 4.5, just depending on the day and what time of the year, what time of the summer it was, because he played a lot of basketball too.
Mm-hmm.
And this is on the consistent lasers, and some of the times on his hand were on the hand were and when I say hand, for those of y'all that don't on the stopwatch, we're comparable, we're comparable to the laser. And he ran something like a 4.71 with us because he had a terrible start, and then he come back and he went like 4.65, with another bad start. And that kid can fly. He can absolutely fly. He's on our 4x1. I see, I caught it. See, I didn't say it. He's on our 4x1, 4x2. He can go. I know the kid can run. I time them, but I want to be able to hand the college coach when they show up metrics.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that, but like, watch him play.
Yeah, exactly. He's running people down and he's running away from people.
I just don't. I'm not gonna lie to him.
Yeah,
they can go pay somebody else $60 at a camp to lie to him.
Yeah,
because you can ball or you can't. Yep. Tyrus Landry didn't run a great 40, but you know what? He could catch and he could jump out the gym.
Yep.
And he had longevity.
Mm-hmm.
His pro agility was good. Yeah. Mine are broad, vertical pro. Like those are my important metrics.
Yeah, I would rather look at the 20 myself because I like the acceleration factor.
Just 20 or 20 fly.
20. Straight up 20.
Okay.
I want to see him go from a dead stop stance to when you're crossing that line.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I just don't, I don't put a bunch of stock into it, because I just don't feel like we need to. We go out there, we're physical. You play fast, they'll find you. Win games. Mm-hmm. Win games, colleges find you. How about that? It's pretty simple recipe.
Put out tape, have good grades.
Yep. Pretty simple recipe.
I've seen more and more college coaches telling kids at camps, we already know about you if we want you.
Yep.
Now, and we're unless you're doing something that separates yourself not only out here but in the classroom, you're gonna go to a low level school.
You're another guy, and you know what?
Another dude, man.
The transfer portal has made that even a messier thing,
because
you got kids that before pre-transfer portal we're going to play D1 football. Post-transfer portal, they're regular students in the classroom right now.
Mm-hmm. Either that or they're preferred walk-ons at an FCS school.
Dude, it's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. We don't understand. Like our quarterback, absolute stud. I mean, multi-tool kid. He's not a quarterback. He's not a quarterback in college. You know, he can sling it. You know, if they need him to come in, put a package in for him, absolutely. But he's a great receiver.
Yeah.
Like big physical body, go up, get it in traffic, do something with it. My D lineman hated to tackle him. You know, they're like, Coach, he's huge. He's bigger than me. I know. I'm looking at him. He's 6'3", 220. I know. You know, and nothing.
Dude,
And we're like, what else does he have to do? You
we
remember
had a
that?
kid. We had a nose tackle that also started at tackle on offense
Yeah,
for us, pushing 6'4", 290 pounds.
yeah,
Made all state.
nothing.
First team all district on both things. Not a thing except for D3s.
They're. I was talking to the head coach at Blinn about our quarterback, and you know we both agreed that you know junior college Division II, Division III is the new FCS.
Yeah,
that's you know, and the big schools are just going to get them out of the FCS, and you win with who you got left.
yeah.
And whatever transfers you take in.
It's the nature of the business these days, man.
You know,
Transfer
so
portal. And it's like, you know, you only have a lot amount of scholarships per school, and there's 10 times that amount in the transfer portal.
yeah. Well, I think the transfer portals, and this is my opinion, started off as something for kids that were recruited by a coach. That coach leaves, and now that kid is, for lack of a better word, I hate to use the word stuck, you know, because I mean I ended up with two different D-line coaches in college, you know, and the coach that recruited me, you know, who became the head coach my first fall, he was let go, and he was a hell of a defense coordinator, you know. So I'm there, and none of these coaches recruited me, you know. So my thing was, I'm gonna still fight through this, and I'm gonna earn my way through this thing, you know. But I think now you get these kids that they're at a place that they were recruited to by one staff, and now this new staff's in there, and I think that was what maybe one of the original thoughts behind the transfer portal. Now, I mean, I don't. Did you just see that video that Saban put out? You know, they're just like the kids just want to know how much we're going to get paid.
Yeah, the NIL is a totally different thing.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
This all it's public knowledge. So let me pull it up real quick. Hold on. Man, where's it at? Hold on. I know where I can find it. It's the LHSCA put out something.
Oh, is that about foregoing their senior year?
Yep. So, all right. There's an NCAA proposal right now.
Yeah.
For June early signing period, meaning that collegiate athletes can sign in June. Already they can sign in December as an early period, but pushing that all the way to June. And it would allow high school football players who just competed their junior seasons. All right. Now, remember, the way the rules are now, you can't even talk to them to a certain time, their junior year. But who just completed their junior seasons to sign a national letter of intent in June, which means that official visits would move to as early as sophomore year and make recruiting calendar even more difficult. States are already seeing players opt out of their senior seasons. This proposal would make it easier and increase the number of opt-outs. Athletes could sign in June and opt out of their senior season, or even enroll early if enough credits are incurred. This would greatly affect high school recruiting and potentially crippling it. With the portal already affecting high school recruiting, and this is a LHSCA statement, says we stand with other state coaches associations and the National High School Football Coaches Association in being against an early June signing date, which I think is freaking phenomenal, man, because all that's going to do is create more issues.
Yeah, well, that and you say that so the kid can early enroll, meaning he can go to school in August as a senior in high school.
If he's got the credits.
Man, that kid ain't ready for that. We're talking about grown men.
I agree with you, man.
Grown men. We're talking about a kid. He may not even be 18 yet, and with a quarter of the physical development as a 22-year-old that's going to go to the NFL.
Yeah,
man, he's gonna get his
because you are seeing. I will say that you are seeing guys stick around a little bit longer in college, but it's because of the NIL money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So some of those guys that aren't going to pan out in the NFL because let's just face it, it happens all the
Coach,
time.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to give me $1.2 million a year to stick around here and be the backup? Sure, I'll be here.
Yep. I'm good.
But I didn't. I saw that the other day, and that's just crazy to me that would even be a thing that they're considering, man. Like, for the kids, that's not helping the kids.
No, it's not helping the kids at all. I mean, you're just you're trying to grow your totem pole, man. At that point, it's not ready, dude. Kid's not ready.
Yeah, talking about back to what we even began this conversation with is the mega camps. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just
what's their purpose though? What's the mega camp purpose? Is it a whole conglomerate of schools to be able to see a certain amount of kids?
I think at the beginning it started out as a great idea that let's just take an LSU for example, and they're going to host a mega camp with LSU, McNeese, Louisiana Christian, and like Mississippi College. Let's just take those schools. For those lower level schools, like, oh man, LSU's hosting a camp. Every kid wants to go to their state university's camp in that whatever state you pick. They want to go to it, but LSU's not taking every kid that wants to come.
No.
So that being said, I think it started out great that these big schools get kids there they might not recruit, but you know what? McNeese will take them. UL will take them. Louisiana Christian will take them. Mississippi College will take them. I think in that sense it started out great, but I think they've just grown so big that how can you evaluate again 500 to 600 kids?
Mm-hmm.
We had a few kids go to some back, I guess 2022, maybe one in Dallas. There was like 600 kids there. They got like 2 or 3 reps each after driving 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Not a believer in that.
No,
no,
not at all.
Again, film talks, man. Film talks, my word, and to say I'm going to stick my neck out for a kid or, this kid deserves, but is going to be a next level player. Like, to me, that means more than a mega camp where he took 3 reps and could have been great 3 reps. Could have been a great year.
I don't know what
Tony Madrich.
Yeah.
I
don't know what you do with your backs, but with my linemen, I push for them to go to lineman camps. I want them to go to the Nichols camp, or we have one over here. It's called the SWLA lineman camp. Great camp, put on by great coaches. Matt Dufresne, Perry Lalonde. Shout out, no free shout out. But they do.
Will Compton is going to sue the hell out of us.
Yeah, I hope not.
We can't compete with that money.
No, we can't. If you're listening, Will, we're sorry, man.
We'll sign a no compete. It's cool.
Yeah. We'll stop saying it. Yeah. No, I want them to go where they're going to get work. Go get work.
Yeah, I want the best work, man. You talk about linemen, Louisiana line camp.
Oh yeah,
best lineman camp in the nation. Best. But as far as the running backs go, man, like I support them wherever they want to go. Mm-hmm. Camp wise, I've brought kids to camp before.
Yeah,
I would rather the single school camps than the big mega camps. Single school camps, is there going to be a lot of people there? Yeah, but you're still probably going to get a look. Mm-hmm. At least you'll be able to get more than 2 to 5 reps or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
and at that point, it's whether or not you're a need. Mm-hmm. You might not be a need for them, and that's it's part of the business. Again, they got a certain kid they're looking for and a certain position they're looking for. So,
yeah,
Let's talk about this. We talked about 7-7. We talked about mega camps. What about speed gurus?
How should we start? Maybe with a story. We ended up with a hell of a transfer in McNeese from the SEC. Mm-hmm. He came in running low 4.3s. And that was consistent timers. We weren't lasers. We didn't have lasers, but we were all on the hand. And I mean, at that point, by by year 4, I'd gotten pretty good at it. I mean, in my opinion, because I was keeping up with the boss. And yeah, we trained NFL guys and combine guys and guys that were trying to get into camp. And you do it enough times, you get good at it. And you get taught how to uh, time with a hand. Especially but when the scouts come in. You kind of try to see where you're at with them when they come in for pro day. Well, anyway, we get a transfer come in, low 4.3, mid 4.3 on a bad day. We trained our seniors. We offered free training. Hey, you're already in town. We got you. We're going to train you. We're going to get you right. We got a good reputation. We got a good rapport with the scouts. Stay with us. Don't go pay all that money for a guy that doesn't look at it like he's working for you. Because I mean, in the end, your trainer's working for you.
Right.
You're paying them. He comes back after running consistent fast times with us. He goes 4.68, 4.71 pro day. And we went, we told you. You had to stay with us, man. And all of our guys got faster, stronger, and they were camp ready. One of our questions on our topics, are there good ones? I think there are good ones.
I do too.
I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to spoil it, but one of our guests here pretty soon is a hell of a speed coach.
Mm-hmm.
He does the deal, and I've taken a lot from him, speed mechanic wise and speed development and fine tuning on speed. But there are guys that are out there just to take your money, kids. You got to look at their background, look at their reputation, look at their clientele, and look at the results. Numbers speak, so it just like film.
Oh, absolutely, man. And they're getting paid.
Yep.
To tell you what you want to hear.
Yep.
To cycle you through.
Yep. Do they care? Or are you just a dollar?
Well, here's my thing. If you want proof that the high school coach cares and the high school strength coach cares and all that, look at the hours we put in.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the amount of kids we work with.
Which is a whole nother topic.
Look at the things that we're doing in that short amount of time where we might see them anywhere between 3 to 5 hours a week. Mm-hmm. We don't start work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and take a kid every hour on the hour.
Be a lot cooler if we did.
And I'm not saying the private sector, there's a lot of great guys out there.
I was in the
there's
private
a
sector.
ton. There's a ton of great guys out there.
Great coaches.
Ton of guys that get a lot of good results. But then there's also, for every great guy, there's 2 really, really bad ones.
Really bad ones that make the really good ones look
really bad.
Look really, really bad. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's this. It is how do I put this? The ones that really do get me the most are the ones that work with a kid one time. The kid ends up signing somewhere and they're taking all the credit for it.
Oh, yeah, put his jersey on the wall, picture, sign, and everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
And again, there's some really, really great ones out there. I really do believe there's a lot of great ones out there.
I do too. I said, a guy that we're going to have on the show really soon is going to be, he's a hell of a speed coach. He's a hell of a strength coach.
Yeah. Why do you think athletes are drawn to these people?
Because if you pay them, that means it's worth it.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's a perfect answer. If you pay them, it's worth it.
If you pay them, it's worth it. And I tell my kids all the time, look,
which is a crazy way to think, and I hate to interrupt you here. No, it's a crazy way to think because I want you to think about this. If you pay them, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I want to watch a UFC fight on Twitter, I'm going to search everywhere to find it, and I didn't pay for it, and it's still worth it. Mm-hmm. So why do we have 2 different ways of thinking?
I'm just going to go to Reddit and watch it for free.
Why do we have 2 different ways of thinking?
Yeah.
My high school coach is offering up free time to you to help you do all this stuff because I know you're the same way. I'll stay with any kid that wants to get ready for that type of stuff. Any kid that comes back that's an athlete that wants to do that type of stuff. I've had athletes that have already signed scholarships asking if they can come back and work out in the summertime. Absolutely.
Yeah.
My door's always open.
Mm-hmm.
If we need to set a time, special time, let's do it. If
I
you want
let
to
them
come in and
jump in
work
with
out,
my groups.
yeah, I'm 100% in with that.
Yeah.
But utilize us. Not
Yeah.
saying not saying some of those guys aren't great, because there's a lot of in the Baton Rouge area. We have a ton of great guys, but again, for every great one, there are 2 bad ones.
Well, wasn't Kurt Hester in the private sector for a long time?
Absolutely.
And he's one of the best. I mean, in the game right now, he's one of the best.
Absolutely.
You know,
Coach Moffitt with the Moffitt method. I mean, that's kind of, you'd consider that the private sector.
Yeah, yeah.
You're talking about 2 Division I
strength coaches.
Yeah, who were at one time in the private sector.
Yeah.
But again, there's Joe Blow off the street that played high school football.
Yeah.
That played JV football on Tuesday nights. That has a ladder and some cones and takes you out
I was about to ask, how much speed ladder are you doing?
Me personally?
No. How much speed ladder is the speed guru doing?
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about the
We're
speed
speed training. Let's get on a ladder. We'll we move laterally side to side.
Fancy dancing.
Does it make you quicker? Does it improve your footwork?
Yes.
Yes to both of those.
Yes.
Does it make you straight line faster?
Nope.
No.
Coach, we use the ladder on our speed mechanic day, and we use it just as a quick warm up. I like it for joint and ligament integrity.
We use it.
Coach, we have them taped on the floor, and I like them.
We got rebar ones as part of our dynamic warm up.
Coach, we do pogo jumps. I call them ankle flips, but some people call them pogo jumps.
Same thing, yep.
Coach, we do. Coach, I love to teach high knees on the ladder. Yeah. I love it because I don't think you can get any better, speed mechanic work, just base level speed mechanic work than a high knee drill.
I think you can take ladders into sport specific and position specific.
Do you mean that you make them hold a baseball when they hold a football?
Actually, what I really love is seeing like basketball players with a band on their foot and a band in their hand as they're going through the ladder, simulating a shot. Or I really love to see, the baseball player with the med ball that crow hops for 12 feet before they throw it into the wall.
It's 12 feet.
Yeah, man, you're starting. You're starting from the backstop and running up and hitting the ball, aren't you?
Once again, there's great coaches. There are, but you got that. There's it. If all they do for speed work is the speed ladder, go to your high school guy.
What is the best way to get faster?
Get stronger.
And as far as running goes,
sprint hard. Sprint hard. Race. Coach, we've been doing, we call it Speed City days, and Tuesday is our Speed City day. And Coach, it's a lot of mechanics. We do weighted A marches, low level A skip, high level A skips, high knees, and then we go outside. Well, we plyo, bounding, single leg jumps, reactive plyos. Then we go outside and we get on overspeed bands, and we'll couple that with some med ball stuff, and then just for a little bit of fringe contrast, we get off of it and we sprint, and we compete as a team, but that what they don't understand is that overspeed band, after those muscles are forced to work at a higher rate by being pulled, and if they really use the band right, they're going to be fighting against getting their face drugged through the ground. Those muscles are locked in at working at that higher rate, and then they get off of it and they sprint and they compete. Right. And Coach, we're in our Tiger Spring games, and I say, all right, 25 points to the winner for your team. And sometimes, like however long the yardage is, if it's 30 yards, you get 30 points. And I'll put 2 bigs up there and just make them get after it, or I'll put my 2 fastest guys, or I'll take a kid that, he's kind of on the come up, and I want to see where he stacks up against, one of our faster kids. And that kid, sometimes he jumps up and he wins one, but you just said it. You get faster by sprinting.
What a novel concept, right?
Get stronger and sprint hard.
It's as simple as that. High school kids, man, no matter what you do, they're going to get bigger, stronger, and faster. Well, I say no matter what you do. No matter what you do, the right way.
The right way. We're coming up on the 55-minute mark with a couple of questions to go, but we're making great time right now. We're actually kind of on schedule.
Yeah. So look, those of you on Instagram, remember in 5 minutes it ends. You can switch right over to our YouTube link. It's on our Instagram story. You can switch right over. You can watch from there. You can still comment from there. You can do all that. Look, for 5 minutes, anything we talked about, is anybody on Instagram have a question, have anything to say for the last 5 minutes on Instagram? Because again, we're still going to continue this talk on YouTube, but
and what y'all don't know is we're delving into the conversations online that we talk about a lot during the week.
Yeah,
you know, in the 3 to 4 times that we talk a week, sometimes every day, this is what we talk about.
Yep.
You know, so I don't see anything. So let's move forward, man. Mainstream training. Now, when we say mainstream, what are we talking
about? We're talking about the blacked out goggles on the half Bosa ball, catching a different triangular pyramid
with
what do they call them? What do they call those things?
I don't know, but
different colored.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking.
But let me ask you this: does the athlete have an oxygen deprivation mask on?
No, but I do remember those. Do you remember
those?
I
do too, Coach. When I worked at the fight gym, we used to wear them.
Did y'all?
Yeah, but you know, we did them a lot. Like we put them on late, you know, and then we figured out I would make my fighters hold water in their mouth and just breathe through their nose. You know, and so they were forced to breathe through 2 smaller holes.
I tell my kids all the time, don't be a mouth breather.
Yeah, Coach. So every now and then, like with my kids now, I'll get the water bottle and I'll say, open your mouth, and I'll squirt water. It's about halfway full in his mouth. I said, now run these next 2 with that water in your mouth. Don't spit it out. If you spit the water out or if you swallow it, you owe me 50 push-ups. Yeah. You know, well, why am I doing this? Because I want to see you breathe and be more efficient through you know, smaller orifices. So the state of strength and conditioning. I think that for a little while we were starting to get some of those speed gurus and experts starting to trickle into the college and the high school world. Yeah. And now we're not seeing them as much. You know, it's too many times there were coaches with those big fancy certifications, those really thick textbooks and those really big expensive tests that had that certification that couldn't coach their way out of a wet bag.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can. Here's the thing. I know a ton of great coaches.
I do too.
Can you command a room of 72 kids in there?
You better be able to.
Make sure they're all still working. Make sure they're doing the right thing. Make sure they're following the weight they're supposed to follow. Make sure they're spotting each other, constantly working
correctly.
Not sitting down, not dancing around, not doing. Can you do all that? There's no better training, like we said before, than being on the floor.
And by the way, they all have different personalities.
And so you talk about what's the state of strength and conditioning today, and I think we talked about this briefly in a previous episode. Kids see stuff on social media and question why we're not doing that stuff. Mm-hmm. And my answer always is, how's that helping us win games?
Yeah.
Because reality's this. Is bench press important in sport? Let's just take football. Is it important in football?
I think it is.
I do too. Mm-hmm. But is it the end all be all in football?
No.
Where in football does it translate outside of the trenches? Possibly a corner, a receiver, possibly a running back.
Kid gets knocked down, he's got to get up off the ground fast.
Boom. Thank you. I mean, you're pushing yourself off the ground. That's where it translates the most. Mm-hmm. And look, Instagram viewers, you got about 20 seconds. Instagram will be shutting down. Move on over to YouTube. I saw a few people hop over to YouTube. I don't even know if we have one Instagram. Yeah. So hop on over to YouTube. But
yeah, flip over there.
Bam, pushing yourself up off the ground. That's it. That's the extent of it. again, how is standing on the Bosa ball, half Bosa ball, with dark goggles on, catching what is the thing called, man? It has three different colors on it.
I know what it is. I mean, I've been thrown it. I've had it thrown to me a couple of times, and they call out a color, and you got to like grab at
Yes,
it,
yes,
So it's
yes.
eye hand coordination. I get that, and
Go catch a ball.
yeah. I mean, is that something to do like concentrating
Real
when you're
training.
tired? Yeah. Ugh, it looks awesome. Looks awesome. That's why they want to do it, And like I tell mine, like, and they don't ask me that much anymore about that kind of stuff. And like, well, it doesn't fit into the large group setting. It's dangerous to have a ton of kids doing that, because when you write workouts, and or I don't know how when you write workouts, Joe, do you think about all the things that can go wrong before you put that one movement on the piece of paper?
Yes.
Every time.
Every little thing. And then
Every time.
the other thing I worry about is the amount of kids I have in there at a time.
Mm-hmm.
How can I make sure we're not going to hit each other? We're not going to bump into each other. We're not
Yep.
going to hurt each other. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. In the space we have, how is that all going to happen?
Mm-hmm. And you got.
I would love to see. Like, I would love to do some of the things that I've learned and that I see and all that, but I just don't have the space and I don't have the resources to do some of it.
Right now, I don't have the equipment to do some of the stuff that's in my arsenal. It's coming. We're putting the money together right now. But I don't have it. So, I have, we make do with what we have, and we get done with what we're given, and we get great work in.
Right. While you're talking, this just popped up.
Yep.
I can re-add live if you want me to.
Let's
on
do
Instagram.
It.
Okay.
Hey, we're back on Instagram Live.
Yeah, we're gonna re-add it real quick. But I agree with you. Like there's no space. There's no.
I am starting to see that swing back to good old fashioned meat and potato training. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see it come back to where, like Rusty Witt over at Tulane, dude. They're power cleaning, they're hang cleaning, they're front squatting, they're deadlifting. And he was talking about, well, why do y'all deadlift with college athletes? Well, ground based power, and we power clean, and he's got to be able to pull a heavy weight off the floor.
Yeah.
And Coach, deadlift will not go away in my program year round. Coach, year round, we're going to deadlift at least once a week. Now, will I mix it up? Absolutely.
Yeah, are you variation deadlifting?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll throw in variety. Like this summer, we're going to go to we'll do our big compound movement, and then we'll probably go to a 4 to 5 station. I hate to use the word circuit, but the kids will operate basically our auxiliaries and our secondary movements for a certain amount of time, including an outside station. And I'll throw some hex bar deadlifting in there, and I'll throw some sumo deadlifting and some deficit deads. And
so I think I know the answer to this. Are you you're a squat, hinge, press, pull, carry guy?
Yeah.
Okay. I know the answer to it.
Coach, throw in sprint and throw as well, and jump.
Just so everybody understands what we're talking about there, just for the normal
basics.
No, it's the basics. I mean, a squat a workout, a hinge a workout, a press a workout, a pull a workout, a carry a workout.
Yeah,
that's the basics of we're building an athlete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I mean, you want to get sports specific. I mean, every athlete. I don't know. Is there not a sport that doesn't go through one of the multi-planes of movement? I can't think of one.
Me neither.
So I'm going to take them through it at some point. And I'm actually like I'm chomping at the bit for the summertime because I get 2 hours with them. And that 2 hours is going to include an outside, with a lot of mobility before we even go. I treat my summer workouts in the outside phase like track workouts.
Yeah.
We probably warm up more than we actually sprint, but in that warm up is a lot of mechanics.
Which I think some guys get taken away with some of the running. This stuff doesn't have to be long.
No, God, no. Coach, what do we mention?
Maximum effort. Yeah, maximum effort sprinting. 20, 25 minutes at most. I mean, like
same thing as high intensity in the weight room, Coach. Less is
yeah,
more.
absolutely,
Less
absolutely.
is more.
And you talk about you mentioned Rusty Witt a minute ago, and amazing strength coach, man. Took over for Hester at Tulane. He was once at UL. He's at Troy the past few years.
He designed the room at UL.
Yeah, he's great. One of my favorite guys to follow because he's real training is Brett Huth over at Texas State. That is real. That's his kind of mantra. Is like, Coach, this is real training. This is real.
Coach, when he was at UIW, when he was an Incarnate Word, man, they had them guys freaking getting it over there.
Ballers.
Coach.
Ballers.
I mean, moving some iron.
Yep.
Moving iron.
And they're still doing the same, man. You look at some of the stuff that he posts, and it's just like, wow, this is impressive.
Yeah, he's at Texas State now, you said?
Texas State, yep.
Yeah, he'll make them monsters.
I mean, look at them, man. They were top 25 team, right?
Yeah.
They were top 25 team this year with a brand new staff.
Monster makers. Monster makers. That's what these guys are.
I love that.
You know, Coach, what has we said what got us to this point, and like I said, I think that for so long we had legit deaths going on in weight rooms, like actual deaths happening. And so there was a cyclical turn to like get away with some of the the old school training that works, to go into this functional,
scientific base.
Yeah. And Coach, you throw that textbook away. Throw that book away. I mean, you learn the basics.
Some stuff has some merit, man. Like you know, but some stuff has some merit. But
Coach, have you passed the
CSCS?
the big test? Yeah, no. Coach, I've taken it 3 times. I fail it by 1 point every time. Coach, I don't know.
I know a ton of great strength coaches that haven't passed it, man.
Coach, I don't know.
Come watch me coach. Come watch me program. Come watch me coach.
Come watch us coach. What like we post some of our stuff.
And there's no knock on it. Like I still am. I've contemplated. Do I try again? Do I not try again?
Man, I want to get I'm
in the middle of
national high school.
You're
taking it?
Yeah,
you're doing it. Yeah,
it's a whole course. It's 43, and I'm been way worse than I should have been as far as finishing. I should have finished it a long time ago, man. But how life gets. It's just one thing, another thing, one thing, another thing.
But you can take that at your own pace, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
A couple $100.
Yeah, $200.
That's easy. Yeah, that's way better than $600, and that's just for the test, in the other in some of the other organizations, and then
you got to wait.
Yeah, then you got to join, and then you got to answer the questions, what chemical is firing in the mitochondria during the power clean. I don't know. Meat and taters, that coffee. That's what's making him run. I don't know. But I know that we're gonna run in and we're gonna get juiced and we're gonna pull heavyweight off the floor.
Be safe doing it. I mean, I know you're safe just as well as I'm safe. I'm not gonna sit a kid in there not knowing what the hell to do.
No,
that's a damn fact. There's not a kid that comes through that hasn't been taught what to do and how to do it, whether they follow the direction continuously and how to do it.
Yeah,
but
well, and also too, Joe, we know when to pump the brakes. We know when to floor the gas, and we know when to put the cruise control on. We know when it's too much. Like Monday, tomorrow, Coach, we're going to redraft our Tiger teams because we've been going for 9 solid weeks hard, And so tomorrow, and I'm not even going to tell them unless they're watching. Now they're going to find out if they're watching, But I'm going to get them dressed, and I'm going to say, meet me in the little gym, get the cones out, and then I'm going to put them in the bleachers, and we're going to redraft our teams. And then we're going to get back to work next week because we're gonna key set, at 85%. We're going to work out a couple of days this week, mainly because I'm not going to be there very much because with the state competition. But what I was saying earlier, there was for a while there was coaches with those big fancy certifications that didn't know when to pump the brakes and applying military style training and killing kids, like legit killing kids.
Yep.
And so we're getting back out of that now. we're starting to see that the old school training works. Coach, you posted a great video about the old school Nebraska Husker strength.
Have you watched that whole video on YouTube?
Oh, it's incredible.
It's an hour-long video.
It's incredible. What's it called? Because I may watch it while I work out tonight.
Nebraska strength and conditioning.
Best in the world, Coach.
They were ahead of their time, but like a lot of the stuff that was used then, it's still being used now. Mm-hmm. Just in anything, man. You look at some of the Russian methods. A lot of it's still being used.
I'm glad you brought that up because me and Kirk were talking about this the other day, and we've talked about it 1,000 times. Less is more, right?
Yep.
So, do you think in this? Because I think I know what your answer is, but maybe we'll disagree on this. Do you think that the American strength and conditioning model needs to be reevaluated?
In the sense, like which?
In the sense, okay, let me rephrase that. Do you think that the American strength and conditioning model needs to be reevaluated as far as sets, reps, volume, and intensity?
For some, yes. Because
the Eastern Bloc country. I'm sorry, Coach. I get juiced up. I didn't mean to cut you off. The Eastern European countries were doing it for so long, so right.
And dominating the hell out of.
Dominating. Coach, I keep telling you, I'm not going to go back to anything past fives.
Do I believe that? Oh, okay. I have a different way of thinking with that.
Okay.
I don't disagree on fives, but I also have a rep and set scheme of a totality of the workout.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me too.
So, like when we squat in the beginning, the first month, it won't be over 25 reps. No matter how we get to that.
Yeah.
We're at the point now to where we're not over 16 reps.
Because you're breaking them in. Because
we're breaking them in.
Yep.
So the whole 5 thing, like in the beginning, we might do. I've experimented with a lot of, and again, we talked about this before, taking different philosophies, powerlifting, bodybuilding, hypertrophy based, Olympic lifting, just different facets of different philosophies and putting them all into one. So we might, in the beginning, we'll went 10 reps at 50%. And I've been doing a pyramid scheme with everything. I say pyramid scheme. Pyramid.
One person started and 4 people sign up under you, and do you make money off of those 4?
Pyramid rep and set scheme. So we'll go like
it's multi-level strength and conditioning.
We'll go like 10, 6, 4. That's 20 total reps.
Like it. 10, 6, 4, 6, 10.
Sometimes we'll just stop at 4, man.
Coach, we did some pyramids.
So you'll hit an AMRAP at the end, or no? Or you're just talking about going back to 10.
No, Coach, we'll go 10 for a while. We were going 10, 6, 4, or we would go 10, 6, 4 one week, and then we would go 10, 8, 6, 4.
Okay, and so same concept, yeah.
So then the week after that,
I'm gonna pull up what we did.
Now we're going back up the pyramid as far as numbers. So we would go 10, 8, 6, 4, then maybe a 6. But here's what I like to do as far as big reps. I like to put a timer on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like to put a timer. But like what I've been doing the last couple of weeks, my day 2 squat after bench, right? We were doing a goblet, which means holding the weight out in front of our body, sumo squat.
Sumo goblets. I love sumo goblets.
Sumo goblets.
My kids love sumo goblets.
2 sets. I love what it does for the hips. 2 sets of 30 seconds, supersetted with a back move. So we were doing like a band pull down, or we were doing a seated band row, like a reverse grip pull up hold. I think that's actually what we were doing. We were just doing chin up holds, or some.
ISO chin ups.
Some chin up eccentrics.
Yeah,
I love some eccentric chin ups. And like now last week.
So do you ISO into an eccentric? Because I do that sometimes. We'll go like.
I have, yeah.
We'll go ISO for 10, eccentric for 5.
Yeah.
Up for 1. Like now, but it'd only be like 3 to 5 reps, but I mean it absolutely crushed them. But like go ahead.
I like me some ISO contrast too. I like to hold. and then we'll get up and we'll do like a med ball chest slam, or we'll do a speed bit like an ISO push up hold for 30 seconds, and then we like you get up, next person starts, and then you get up straight to the bench. You go close grip bench for a rapid fire.
Yeah.
You know, like a dynamic.
See, my only
close
the only
grip
thing
bench.
that holds me back from some of that is just space.
I mean, you put them all over in front of the rack. Put them on the same rack. That's what I do.
Go in the same rack.
Yeah, I mean, like I put them in three man rotations. You know, which the third guy he's spotting with a close grip bench.
Coach.
I know you got like 4 or 5 per rack. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It would take me forever. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is like, so like I told you we started out with like 25. We're down to like 16 total reps. So like last week we were all the way up to 90% of our squad. It was 16 total reps. We went 6, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so we went 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 6 for 50, 4 for 60, 3 for 70, 2 for 80, 1 for 90.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're crushing. They were crushing. I had to like pull the chains back because we're gonna have a true max the week of before spring break.
Yeah. Well, in summary, 30 reps is 30 reps. However you get to 30.
Correct.
10 sets 3, 6 sets 5.
10 sets, yeah. It don't,
5 sets 6. 15 sets 2.
But the like 10 by 10s, like that shit's crazy.
German volume. I've done it.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. Coach,
that's how Brock Lesnar used to work out.
Yeah, I have the German volume system, and I've tried it, and it's a 7-week program, and I got about 5 weeks into it, and I was like, I want to die right now. Like this is horrible, you know. But all right, you ready to move on? Last one we got up.
Yeah, man. I think this has been a great little.
That has coaching burnout. Is it a thing? What do you think?
No.
Okay. Why?
I just think it's a life thing, man. Sometimes you just need a break in life. I don't think it's coaching burnout per se.
You think it's a cop out sometimes?
I do. I think
the
reason I say that is because you knew what you were getting into.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same problem I have with like, and I'm not saying, again, my opinion on this. I want everybody to realize that this is my opinion. I'm not saying CTE is not real because it's a real thing, but you knew what you were getting into playing professional football.
Yeah.
Before you started, CTE in. You knew exactly what you're getting into.
And all those guys do. A lot of them do.
I'm not saying it's not a real thing, man. It is. These guys, be aware of it. Have the awareness of it, but you knew what you were getting into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with coaching. You knew long hours, not great pay. We've talked about this one. Your paycheck is the things that happen and the accomplishments that your athletes make.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just think it's a tired life. I mean,
it is. It's a tired life.
Do cops have burnout? Do lawyers have burnout?
I think when you go hard, you have those days that you're just like, oh.
What it boils down to, man, let me ask you this. All right. If you got paid $300,000 a year, would you ever, as a coach, would you say burnout? Or is it because we make $45,000 a year that we're saying I'm burnt out for $45,000 a year?
I think some people do use that. Yes. Because I
think the pay of our business is the cop out of I'm burnt out.
Yes. So you know what I texted you the other day, and I won't go all the way into it, but there's just some days where I put my feet on the floor and I go, I just maybe I should go do something else. Because it's not 3 days in a row, it's not 5 days in a row, because my dad, God rest his soul, he used to say, when I put my feet on the ground 3 days in a row and I think that I don't want to go to work, I'm going to go find something else to do. I think, but I just think there's some days that just for me, that, and this happens maybe like once a year, every now and then I'll just go, man, it'd be nice to be home a little bit more, and it'd
And
be,
I don't disagree with that. I mean, I wish I was home more, but
yeah,
I will say this in that same breath: when you're home, be home.
when you're home, be where your feet are. That's it. That's it. And I can't get home fast enough. And there's days where I'm just trying to get out of the weight room. Man, I just want to go home. I don't want to go home. I've been there since 6 o'clock. I've been on everybody's case. You're not squatting low enough. Why didn't you got your shoes tied? That's the wrong shirt. No, put go lower. Hey, get the bars loaded. Why aren't we set up yet? Why aren't you in line? And there, sometimes there's just those days where you feel like it's the same repetitive stuff every day, every day. You just want to get home. And those are the days where it means the most to get those hugs and kisses when you walk in the door. And it absolutely destroys me when they're in bed already when I get home.
Oh yeah, man. I don't disagree with what you're saying.
With all this being said, I love coaching. I don't know what else I would do, but like if I wasn't a coach, I'd probably be just waiting tables.
Yeah.
Because I do that on the side. I mean, that's there's two things that I know that I can do well, and that's coach and wait tables, and that's it. And I will not make waiting tables a career. In unless just something drastic happens.
Right.
I don't think there's anything else I would rather do. And I promise you, as tired as I am right now, and because I know you're tired, you told me you're tired. I'm gonna get a boost on Wednesday. I'm gonna get juiced up, and all the success that we may have, it's gonna renew why I'm a coach.
Yeah, and I thought about that driving home today. I was like thinking of all the stuff I got going on this week and all the stuff I got to do and all the stuff I do. I'm like, damn, man, like how do I do it? Like how do I continue to do this? Like
how do we do this?
But again, I mean, I'd never say burned out.
Yeah.
I think everybody gets a sense of like kind of tired within their job because they're tired from life. Like,
yeah, they're tired.
Cliche as it sounds, I mean, be prepared to work really, really hard for the rest of your life and eventually die.
Yeah. Coach Matt Viator said it the best. Coaching's a lonely profession.
Yeah.
And my buddies that aren't coaches, some of them just don't get it. Well, why don't you come hang out on Tuesday night? Well, because I got to get up tomorrow at 4.
But you got to have those little refreshing moments. Last night I went out with guys that I went to high school with.
You do, yep, 100%.
It literally got set up on Thursday night.
Well, I mean,
4 guys we've all been at each other's weddings. We've been friends for going on 20 years now since we were freshmen in high school, sophomores in high school. Used to like go to each other's house all the time in the summer, and grew up together and all that, and just being able to go hang out with them last night, and it wasn't much. I mean, it was a few hours. We went and had a few adult beverages at a restaurant, and
Squiggly Pops.
and just hung out and talked about life. Each of us, between the 4 of us, we have kids ranging from sophomores in high school all the way down to 8 months old.
Yeah.
And it's like just experiencing life. And a few of us have older kids, being able to relate to the guys with younger kids, and just the little things like that. You have to find your life outside of what your life has become,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because no matter what, I got a text from one of the guys. He's texted us all at the end of the night, and it's just like, man, it's great that no matter where we leave off, we can come back together, and it's still exactly the same. Like,
yep.
There was no like big hugs and handshakes and all that when everybody walked in. It was, we just got right to talking. Like,
yeah,
man, life, man, this, like, no matter what it is, from sport to investments to wives to anything, and you got to have those moments.
You have to. Even
it saves the burnout. I mean, it saves the.
Yeah, and like I said, with all that being said, I'm not experiencing what some people call coaching burnout. But that question came up after we talked for a little while, and what did we conclude as? What else are we going to do? This is what we love to do.
And I think bad situations, because not every working environment and situation you go into is conducive to getting you better or keeping you at the top or better. So I think some of those situations often get coaches into that, is this for me stage? And they go find something else to do. You see guys 8-10 years into it. Like, am I still going to do this? So it's a great question.
Yeah.
Well,
Brother
speaking
Joe,
about burnout, these lights about to burn out. I'm about to go to sleep.
Yeah, man.
We got our early morning workout tomorrow.
Us too. I got to be up at 4.
Yeah,
and I still got to put some workouts on paper.
I got to do the same, man. I got to do some workouts, do a little bit of my NHSSCA course. Shout out, no free shout out.
Don't sue us, Will Compton, please.
Yeah. Got to do some of my course and do a few other things, and we getting after it, man. Next week we got another guest.
Great guest.
Back to guest.
Back to guests.
Just so everybody knows, we are pushing up to 6 p.m. So we will start at 6 from now on. Piloting ends on Saturday, so there's no more late evening practices, even though Patrick's got a birthday to attend next Sunday.
Yes.
But I'll let Mom handle that one.
Yes.
So yeah, man, it's a great episode. I love I love having these talks. This is an hour and 26 minutes of nonstop in your face. Like, how do we feel?
This is the minds of Joe and AB, man. This is the stuff that we talk about.
Yep.
Yeah, we just don't use all the colorful words on here that we do on the phone.
I don't. I have a very simple vocabulary. So
church boy.
Yeah. So
my brother, man, it was a good one today.
Absolutely, man. So I'll see you Tuesday, and to all of our guests, again, you can find this on Beyond the Rack podcast on YouTube.
Don't forget to like and share, please.
Yeah. Shout out to athlete that just shot me a text saying how much they love the podcast. Don't want to use your name on the internet, but shout out to you. Yeah, shout out to you. Thanks for saying how much you love it. So
shout out, big homie.
So all right, bro.
All right, man.
See ya.
See you next week, dude.